So today I want to ask you a question. There is a myth in Google, according to some philosopher, Albert. He gave a theory. He said we use only 7% of verbal communication and 35% of vocal languages and 55% of non-verbal communication. So is it true or it depends on situation and context?
I would like to say, if my memory serves me right, Albert, he has been into researching language. He says that your non-verbal communication accounts for 55% of your communication and 7% only words and 38% vocal communication. It means here 55% non-verbal. Can you imagine non-verbal? It means that non-verbal means when I am talking, I am just using my hands. Non-verbal means where I am not using words. And he says that 38% is vocal. Vocal means related to your voice, intonation, pitch, stress, where I am to speak. Can you help me? Yes, I can. So like this, and 7% is just words. So in your communication, 7% words. This is the ratio.
Yes,
I do not think that it is a myth. He might have researched after all, but at least if we go by his research, so words play 7%. But I am of the view, if you do not have words, what will you do with these things? Vocal and non-verbal will not, because communication, according to me, total communication skill is all about verbal and non-verbal communication. There is non-verbal communication and verbal also. Non-verbal communication. So we can say this is verbal. This is verbal. So it means that it's a 50-50 almost, but more is non-verbal. So non-verbal, you got it. So there is possibility, it is up to you, just research. And I will tell you also my research some other time. If we go by this, he says that non-verbal communication is very important. And what is non-verbal communication? Communication that takes place without the help of words, spoken and written. For instance, the example of non-verbal is gestures, postures. Gesture is related to hands and head. Like posture is the way I sit and stand. Gestures, postures, facial expressions. And then there is intonation also. Intonation is part of both vocal, verbal as well as non-verbal. Like intonation, when we say intonation means rise and fall of your pitch, that is intonation. So I'll teach you at length some other time.
Good morning, sir. Today I want to ask you, as we know that you have been giving lecture on communication skill for long. So as you always say that we should speak creative communication, not only communication. So in communication, you have explained non-verbal and verbal communication as communication parts. So in verbal, I want to say that if we talk creatively, it shows that we are speaking creatively. But in non-verbal, there is some creativity into it.
Non-verbal.
In non-verbal.
I think there may be creativity, because creativity means verbal and non-verbal communication together. In order to be creative in your expression or communication, I think you should be good at both modes of communication, verbal and non-verbal, and you should be very good at expressing. But I'm sure that before that, you should be in the know of things.
Yes, sir. That's true. In fast-moving world, we should be good at communication skill. How can we find about ourselves, like we are good at our communication or not?
I think, Shalini, best way is to interact and talk. When I say interact, interaction is other than transaction. One is we use communication for transactional purpose. If I say, Shalini, you may go. Okay, sir. So this is transaction. Transaction means I am transferring information. Shalini is telling yes. But if I am using language for interactional purpose, I would say that, Shalini, you should go immediately. Shalini would say, why, sir? So Shalini is bringing emotion into it. Shalini is bringing some social relationship also. Shalini is feeling bad. I said, you may go. Shalini wants to know, why should I go? Sir, why should I go? So it means that Shalini is using communication for interactional purpose and I am using for transactional purpose. Transactional purpose means transferring of information. Please tell Seema ma'am, come prepared for tomorrow. So it's just information. But when we start interacting, the moment we say interactional, it becomes emotional, it becomes social, it becomes creativity, it becomes creation, your creation. You start becoming beautiful in your expression, and then you start going towards creative communication skill.
Yes, sir. Very well said. We can also say that in transactional, only one person communicate, but in interactional purpose of communication, both side are speaking together.
Actively.
Yes.
Or I would like to say that in a transactional communication, one person is speaking actively and the other is just a receiver. Other is passive. He will say, okay, sir. But in interactional, so interactional means we are not just talking for transferring ideas, but we want transformation.
Yes, sir.
We want to bring out transformation in our personality. So transformation should take place, and I should have my emotion into speaking. I should have my heart, my mind, my senses, my whole being into communication. So interactional. So this is what we aim at. We aim at promoting interactional as well as transactional kind of communications, right?
Thank you so much, sir. Today I have learned in communication transactional purpose and interactional purpose. So it was nice to talk.
Hello everyone, my name is Shivani Thakur and I'm student of Satyam School of Languages. Today I would like to ask some question from Satyam sir about communication skills and people who are scared of speaking in front of camera and stage. Sir, today I would like to ask you some questions. Like, sir, there are many people who are scared to speak in front of camera and on stages, but when they speak with their family members and friends, they can speak their mind or whatever they want to say openly. Sir, so how can those people improve themselves so they would be able to speak in front of camera and on stage as well?
I think the answer to your question lies with you. Earlier she was very afraid of facing camera. Now see, she's asking. So she's fumbling and she's asking real questions. And today she's facing camera. She's facing it, though she's afraid. So answer is that you need to practice. Practice plus you need to come out of your shell. You get in touch with teacher. So teacher will help you out, come out of your shell. So there is no other way than good teacher, good guidance and self-motivation and your willingness. You should also be self-inspired that I want to come out of my shell.
Sir, like you earlier told that there are two types of communication, verbal and non-verbal. There are many people who are good at non-verbal communication, but they cannot speak. They are not that good in verbal communication. So what should those people do to improve their verbal communication as well?
Very nice question she has asked. I think they should start speaking. They should avail themselves of the opportunity to talk to people, or to avail themselves of the opportunity to talk from the stage. When they have practiced, they will definitely improve, and there is no substitute for hard work or practice. If you have to practice, you have to practice also.
So like you told that we should come out of our shell. So there are many people who are introvert. It's not bad being an introvert. It's also part of our personality. But as an introvert, they can't speak in front of other, like extrovert can express them openly, but not introvert. Is there any advice you want to give those people?
Shivani, it should not happen that in interview you say that I am introvert. It will cost you then. Sometime what happens, being introvert, being extrovert is not bad at all. But when you are not able to speak where you are needed, where it is required, where it is needed, then what will you do? Then it will prove counterproductive. Otherwise, one should be introvert. Everybody is speaking throughout day, speaking and speaking. Their mouth is speaking, heart is not speaking, soul is not speaking. हम मुंह से बोल रहे हैं, रूह से नहीं. हम कान से सुन रहे हैं, ध्यान से नहीं. ये संवाद आज पूरे देश में हर जगह हो रहा है. तो आप अच्छा कह रही हैं that we should be introvert, but it should be in the positive direction. It should not be negative. Sometimes what happens, we say that अच्छा भैया introvert होना चाहिए. लेकिन this is your learning stage. You should be expressive. The world wants you to express yourself. If you're not able to express yourself, can you score good marks in exams? No, you have to express there in terms of writing. If you have to sit in the interview, you should be expressive there. You cannot afford to be introvert. So on that score, I should say that you should be ambivert. Ambivert. What?
Ambivert.
Ambivert. Ambivert means that is both introvert and intro and extrovert. word. So ambivert is the solution for it.
Thank you, sir.
Very
That's
nice. I'm pleased.
all
to-
from my side.
Oh, that's great. I'm pleased to see, like, few days back she joined this academy and she was very camera conscious and very shy. And today she has come out of her shell, not only come out of her shell, but with great guns, and she's asking questions also. So I wish you all the best.